Hello from Party Finance. What's up? Hey, what's up? Can you guys hear me all right? Can you guys hear me all right? Okay. All right. So, yeah, we'll give it a couple more minutes for people to join. So there's 750 people now. Yeah, I'm trying a more high-tech mic this time. Didn't work last time, but I think I didn't press the right buttons. Are you talking to Trump? No, unfortunately not. Okay, so I have some prepared agenda, which I think this AMA will be about 30 minutes. So I have some prepared agenda, and then we'll take some questions from Twitter, and then take some questions from the live chat. Okay, so we're up to about 1.2k, 1,200 people. All right, so okay, so let's begin. So this is the 5th AMA, and thanks for tuning in. And so there's a couple of different topics I want to go through first. The first one is we made a few big adjustments or big steps that we took. So the first one is we will continue to a 25% fee discount for using BNB to trade on Binance.com. According to the white paper, we should be reducing that from 25% to 12.5% on July 14th. But everything considered, we want to give back more to the community, and we also think that's the best for the BNB token. At this stage, we want to increase the utility of the tokens, have more people use it, than just say, look, we want to increase the revenue for Binance.com. So we believe the revenue for Binance.com, even with charging a full fee or giving less discounts, is actually less beneficial to everyone. So we want to continue the discount for at least another year. We don't know what's going to happen afterwards. We'll just check in a year time. So that's the first thing. So basically, we're giving back more discounts to the community. I think that should help our trading volumes and encourage everybody to be more active. Net, I personally do believe strongly that's a positive decision for BNB and for BNB holders. The second thing is we released margin fully to everyone yesterday. So yesterday alone, over 10,000 people signed up for margin accounts, and so far that's more than $15 million borrowed for margin. So we think clearly there's a very strong demand for that, and we're happy that we are finally able to push the product out and have people use it. So the third piece of news I want to share, which is very key today, is we've been discussing for the last little while with with all of the Binance team members, and the unanimous decision is that the Binance team will not spend a penny of the Binance team allocations. So for the guys who have been with us from the ICO days, you guys know that the Binance team were allocated 40% of the total supply, which is basically 80 million BNB. At the current rate, that's worth somewhere around $2.4 billion. And the team said, we're not going to cash a penny of that out. We're going to burn it all. So we're going to contribute 100% of the team allocations towards the burn. So we will, half of the total supply, which is 100 million BNB coins, will be burned in total. So the BNB team allocation will be contributing to 100% to that burn. What does this mean? So it means basically the team no longer, will not claim any pre-mined or pre-allocated tokens. So basically the team gets nothing from the ICO. All the team's BNB that we have now are earned through our services and or bought with our own money. So this is the same as a ICO project with no pre-mining, with no team allocation whatsoever. But we did it right now when we know the clear value of the BNB tokens that we hold. So we're contributing that to the burn. I think this clearly shows that also the fact that this decision was unanimous within the Binance team shows that the Binance team is here for a mission. We're not here for money. So I think that should boost the confidence of the of our community. Even with that, I think the Binance team still are one of the largest holders of BNB, because we all of our services we receive BNB as revenue. So we remain one of the largest holders of BNB, and we're still incentivized to increase the BNB value. But net, so we're giving up on any pre-allocations to the team. So I think that's a big news, and I think that's pretty big. So that's that. I'll take a few questions from the Twitter feeds. So I think Ken VJ223 asked when Binance launch futures, Binance turns 2. So we aim to begin public testing of the futures platform towards the end of July. So we will first release a testnet or a simulation market so that people can get comfortable with it. The simulation market price will follow will roughly follow the real Bitcoin price, or the real contract price. So we'll do a simulation first and test the system and see how that goes. So that's coming very soon. So probably in 10-20 days we should have the testnet live for Binance futures. So a couple more questions on Binance DEX. So MVC Bull asks when staking BNB. So right now we don't have any clear plans. Right now we're trying to get the Binance chain working, or get more people to use it. So right now it's about increasing utility of the Binance chain. So Binance for Life asked, what is your plan to develop and implement cross-chain trading in Binance DEX in the future? So there are a lot of different plans for cross-chain trading. So the thing that we encourage the most is for tokens to migrate 100% of the tokens to Binance chain. So for projects that use a very simple ERC20 token, just for transfer or just for issue, freeze, lock, unlock, transfer, and there's nothing smart contract related, we encourage those guys to migrate 100% to Binance chain, because Binance chain is faster, it's cheaper, it's easier, and it's native DEX support. It's just simpler. There's a second category where if you do require other features that Binance chain does not support yet, such as smart contract features, etc., then you can migrate a portion of your token onto Binance chain. That creates a little bit of an inconvenience for users who are checking total supply, but in general, it's not a big issue. For independent blockchains, we also encourage people to do pegging, so you can lock down a portion of the native tokens and then issue a portion on Binance chain token. So that's also another way. That's quite easy to do today. There are also development plans in progress already, building different type of bridges. So there are many already different type of interoperability bridges already. So a lot of those will come. Okay, the next question is also from Binance for Life. Any plans to increase market awareness of Binance DEX other than trading airdrops? So we are doing many things to increase the market awareness, and we're relying very heavily on the project teams too. So this is why every month we will select Binance tokens on Binance chain with high trading volumes to list on Binance.com. This would encourage the project teams to push Binance DEX into their communities. This would encourage them to introduce Binance DEX to their users so that they get higher trading volumes on Binance DEX. There are many other things which we're doing, so I can't go into a lot of all the details there. So the next one is from Brian Young. What makes your decentralized DEX, Binance DEX, be outstanding compared with others coming up, a competitor with the same idea and the same platform? So eventually we're gonna open source Binance DEX. We're not worried about people copying us eventually. I think basically you can copy our source code and then run a exact same DEX, but on the other DEX you may not have the option to get listed on Binance.com, for example. The other projects team may or may not do airdrops as big as they do on your DEX versus ours. We do encourage people to copy it, fork it, and then make improvements, because that would just improve the quality of the code base overall. We have not open sourced it just yet, because we want to make some faster iterations with the current community team, and then but eventually everything will be open source. So I see a lot of questions about US in the chat. So I guess this chat is more US centric. I'll address that in a little bit. Diverging Master, is there any plan for smart contract features on Binance Chain? So actually, yes, we probably will support smart contracts at some point in the future. There are already different plans or different architectures being discussed. So we'll see how that goes. There are different models we're still considering. We haven't really decided on one specific architecture yet, whether it's layer 2 or native, etc. Most likely it will be a Ethereum EVM compatible smart contract engine. So we'll see. So the next questions are, I guess, regarding Launchpad. From Z Harisal, one more ticket to longer equals real BNB holder, increase hold days for Launchpad for real BNB holders. So my response there would be careful what you wish for. Some of the discussions we have internally regarding Binance Launchpad are, number one, we will probably pick up the pace for Launchpad projects. So right now we do them roughly like one every 40 days or so. We'll probably move them up to, given the number of projects, given the number of good projects we have in the pipeline, we're likely to increase that to probably 5 projects over the next 3 months or so. Don't hold me on that. But the pace will pick up, I think. And also, to answer the question, we do plan to increase the holding period of the BNB holding period requirement for the next project. So we may increase it to about 30 days. So you're required to hold for 30 days BNB to be able to participate. So we think this will encourage people to hold either hold BNB for longer, or we're rewarding the guys who hold BNB, who are long-term BNB holders. So I think this is a common theme we have seen from the requests from our community. So Binance Launchpad probably will have those kind of adjustments coming up. Let's see. So the USA related questions. Will BAM be open for US residents before September deadline? Thank you for all. Back up Bradley. The current plan, of course, is to get the Binance exchange up, the US exchange up before the deadline. But the exact schedule depends on our partner in the US. I don't have detailed plans for that, but the plan is, of course, to be able to service US users on that exchange well. So that's the plan. I think for most, a lot of our Twitter a lot of my Twitter followers are more US centric, so they ask a lot of US questions. My general feedback is don't be too alarmed, or don't get overly anxious. We don't have all the plans, but we will try to. We are now targeting US users, and we'll try to, together with our partner in the US, be able to service US users better than before. So that's the goal. So I don't have a lot of details regarding US, because most of that information should come out of our US partner, which is BAM Trading Services. But the goal is to better service people, not service them, not degrade things. So, what is BNB's ultimate challenge at this point? From TC Eason. I think so. Okay, I guess the next few questions are more about BNB. So BNB doesn't. I think basically we don't really have an ultimate challenge. The goal is really to increase utility of BNB. So we want to have BNB used in as many places as possible. So we're always looking to increase the way people can use it, and all the places people can use it. So that's always the overriding goal and principle. So and there's different challenges to that, just getting more merchant adopted, getting more projects to support it, etc., and integrating with other exchanges exchanges, with other projects, etc. So there's many things we can do there, and we're doing them. And so we're making progress. So I think Crypto's Batman, do you have any plans to give any benefits to long-term BNB holders? Again, I think our focus is just to increase utility of BNB. We think that's probably the best value that we can add to BNB long term. So anything else, we do other things like airdrops with other projects, teams, trading competitions, etc. But most of those are more short term impact. So long term, I believe very strongly that the more utility there are, the better it is for BNB and for BNB holders. Other general questions. Crypto's Batman. Do you have any goals for when to add security tokens? So security tokens are very tricky. Just the definition of securities itself is different in different countries. So I think there's one case which is tokens that represent company shares. Those are very clear security tokens in most countries. Those we generally stay away from. The other ones are more fuzzy. We tend not to. So Binance.com is a centralized exchange, and we tend not to overly focus on securities tokens. Binance.com typically requires projects teams to get legal opinions on the projects being not a security token. So we try not to step on other people's toes, so we try not to like push the boundaries there. For Binance DEX, I guess it's a little bit different. The validators just vote whatever tokens they vote. Different countries may interpret different coins differently. So that's a tricky one. From Lucas Bodowski, what about Wallet Connect for Binance.com logins? That's a good idea, but it's a little bit hard to make the Wallet Connect work for a centralized exchange, because for centralized exchanges, we do handle the clearing, and we do need to have custody of the funds before trading. And because Binance.com is a very high-frequency trading platform, so that may be a little bit more difficult. So the next question is from CryptoJack0. When are we going to have Binance Singapore meetups? That's a good question. So we'll ask our Binance team to organize that. So hopefully that should be very soon. From CoinCoin, are there any plans to open exchanges in Indonesia to facilitate the withdrawal of rupiah? I think we want to be able to facilitate everything. I think there's already some discussions with Indonesia partners, but I don't actually know the details myself. I think there's nothing announced yet, but we do plan to offer more fiat on-ramps in more countries. So I guess stay tuned. From VY Tukas, when Binance Visa card? I think that's a tricky question. So most likely we will work with other partners to provide a white label Binance Visa card. There's a couple different plans already. I don't want to disclose them too early. But yeah, again, wait for the official announcement. But it's something we are actively looking into. How will you celebrate Binance's birthday? From MBG Buzzer. Yes, I know him on Twitter. So actually for this year, we actually didn't do much celebration offline. I think last year we actually flew, on our first birthday, we actually flew a number of people into a location, and then we celebrated a little bit. But this year, I think most of the Binance teams they're just having team dinners themselves in different locations. So and this year, because we got a lot of different stuff coming up, there's margin, there's futures, there's Binance DEX, there's just a lot of work going on, and we decided not to disrupt everybody's work by if we fly people around, then it's going to disrupt at least a week or so of work. The team size is quite large now, so we decided not to do any fancy celebrations. So I guess each of the smaller teams in their own vicinities, they will just get together, get a fancy dinner, which is already very luxurious for our team, actually. Most of the time, they just eat takeouts and order-ins, deliveries, pizza, etc. So a couple other personal questions from Arturo. What was his biggest failure as an entrepreneur? I think there's if you ask any entrepreneur, there's many failures they face. For me, maybe if we did Binance a bit sooner, it'd be better. I don't know. I think the next question is a little bit better from Dark. Well, I guess it's from one of our team members. In the 2 years Binance has been up and running, what's your proudest achievement? Actually, that's much easier. So I think my biggest value is actually just bringing the team together. So I think so far we gathered a very great, a super strong team, and I think that's my biggest value contribution to Binance. These days, I'm not doing any operational work myself. So I do my own Twitter, but then I have a lot of meetings, but nothing too operational related. All the operations of Binance are done by the team. So we have a great team. I think that's my biggest value contribution to Binance. When do you think we will start to see big crypto mass adoption take place from Crypto's Batman? I think mass adoption is a gradient scale. I think we're already seeing quite a lot of it already, to be honest, in different niche markets. For example, Walmart's working with one token blockchain project. Microsoft, Uber, now even Facebook are adopting crypto. I think that's. I think the number of people using cryptocurrency are already far bigger than some of the populations of many countries. So I think we're already seeing quite a lot of adoption. If you say mass adoption being over 50% of the people on the planet, then I don't think any currency have that kind of adoption. No currency, as far as I know, have over 50% population adoption on the planet. So and no company, no organization, no country have more users than that either. So I think by most definitions of mass adoption, we're kind of there's already enough mass adoption, but I think you'll just get faster. The adoption rate will get faster. What's your favorite crypto use case after fundraising? From Lucas Bodowski. So that's an interesting one. I've used Bitcoin to pay for my hotel 5 years ago. So I room service, everything charged to the hotel and paid in Bitcoin when I checked out. So I thought that was that was a really good experience, and that was 5 years ago, and BNB didn't exist back then. More recently, I participated in the charity Trombet charity program, the online poker thing. I think from that, I think the gaming industry will be huge later. The user experience is so much better now with crypto because the wallets are fast. The blockchains are faster now, so you can deposit and withdraw very quickly. You can play for real money, and everything works in a browser. So the wallet is a browser plugin, and then the game is just all within the browser. You can play 4 tables, etc. So I think gaming will be huge for crypto, but similar to many other industries, e-commerce, other things. So I think there's a lot of different industries that we will see more applications in the next couple of years or so. What's your take on Trump's tweet? I'll talk about that later. From Cryptonium. What we all want to know is what is next, CZ Binance. So there's a lot of different stuff happening right now, and to be honest, I actually don't know all the different stuff that's happening at Binance. So we have a lot of different stuff coming up next. So there's futures, there's margin, there's just there's endless stuff. There's always endless stuff to do. So I can't reiterate all of them. From I guess it's okay 00. What are the 3 things you do regularly other than work, of course? So I do have a regular life. I read books, I exercise a little bit. I buy chin-up bars everywhere I go. I probably have bought more than like 10 chin-up bars myself so far, just installed them at different places. But then, yeah. So yeah, and I enjoy hanging out with friends, just chatting, etc. So I'm just a very normal guy. Okay, the last question. Oh, okay. So I guess they organized the questions in a very easy way. Do you lift, bro? From SM Kizo 1. I do go to the gym a little bit, but not regularly, to be honest. Maybe like once a week or so, and the other times I just use the chin-up bar and do push-ups. I wish to go there more often, but the schedule is a little bit hectic sometimes. So let me take a few questions from the chat. So from Gerardo5959, what is your favorite drink? I drink randomly. I guess gin tonic. Let me see. What about U.S. customers? I think I answered that before. So maybe probably join a little bit later. Use that from Crypto 412. So we're still working with. So the iOS app we got delisted from the Apple Store a couple of months back, and we're still working with the Apple to try to get it back. And again, that's kind of like a listing process, which is a black box to us. US Binance app. Did you ever come to Germany? I did go to Germany not long ago, but I didn't stay there for very long. I think that was one day when I passed 3 different countries in 1 hour, or 4 different countries in 1 hour. I think I passed Liechtenstein, Germany, Austria, and a few other countries. All right, let me see if there's any other good questions. This thing's scrolling a bit fast. Okay, so Forza Crypto, how is Binance dealing with security following the hack earlier this year? I think I explained that recent video interview. The security hack instance did cost us quite a bit. But it's actually a blessing in disguise. It gave us the opportunity to really revamp our security measures. We pretty much did like 6 months to a year of work within that 1 week period that we paused deposit and withdrawals. And typically that would be quite hard to do because it's very disruptive to other business initiatives. But given the security instance that we had, we actually were able to do that very quickly. So and I can say that Binance right now, by far, is the most secure exchange. We employ a lot of very strong techniques now. Let me scroll down a bit. Any insights on BNB progression Q4 2019 from... I don't know what that means. Made in China. Do you see a future of crypto in China? I think my perspective is crypto doesn't have country boundaries. So crypto is crypto. You own a private key, which is a string. For Bitcoin, it's like a 33, 34 character string, and it doesn't have a concept of a country border. So I think crypto will be everywhere. So yeah, that's my understanding. Let me see. What's your next year's convention, or where is your next year's convention? We haven't decided yet. So from Pedro half brother. Yeah, so Binance, we do have a team organizing conferences, but I told them to, they were planning to organize like 2 to 3 conferences a year, but I told them to scale it down to 1 conference a year, hopefully. So the next one, they'll organize one in January. So the next one will probably be around that time as well. From Tate Lover, CZ, I sold 186 BTC at 4K USD. Please help. How would you want to? What can I do? Don't sell. What do you think about Trump's tweet? So I think. So from my perspective, I think everybody's a little bit different. Everybody can have a different opinion. So that's fine. I think basically for something to have value, for something to have a future, all we need is a critical mass of people who like it, who understands it. So I don't really have a strong opinion on Trump's tweet. Everybody can think whatever they want to think. Trump didn't mention BNB. That's true. So I guess he likes BNB. Or at least he has the potential to like BNB. Any new BNB utilities in the future? I think we're constantly adding more utilities into BNB. If you look at the use BNB chart, it's getting really busy now, to the point where if we post it using a mobile phone, the project's names are not legible. They're getting so cramped. CZ, can you start out season before you cut US residencies? So by most common definitions, the start of a season is not something we do. We provide a platform for people to trade, and we're the platform provider. The real season or not really depends on the traders. Can we order pizza with BNB? I'm pretty sure you can buy pizza with BNB in some places, but not in a whole lot of places right now. So we're still working on that. Let's see. Okay, I think that's most of the questions out there. Why? Okay, well, there is one question here. Can't pronounce the name. Why BNB freeze accounts? Please answer. So yeah, let me answer that again. I think I said that in the previous AMAs. Binance do have to comply with the KYC AML, and we also work with almost every law enforcement agency in the world. So we have a pretty healthy relationship. We have a very cooperative relationship with all of them. So if the deposit address is flagged as being suspicious, there is a chance that we will freeze that account. As a centralized party, as a centralized service provider, we have to do that. Typically, we would ask for more supporting evidence or more information. There is one special case where sometimes if a law enforcement agency asks us to freeze a certain account or account associated with one address, and if there's an active investigation going on, we are not allowed to provide a response to the user. So if that's the only case that I'm aware of that Binance will not respond after freezing an account. In that case, if you're in one of those cases, you probably should know that you're most likely involved in some law enforcement investigation. Again, I want to explain that the choice is not on us. We don't have a choice. So I hope that answers that. Hi, CZ. No questions. Salute for the team burn. That's from Gautam Chugani, one of our good friends. All right, I think that's mostly about it. Let me scroll down a bit more and see what happens. Can BNB holder automatically rewarded with Launchpad tokens from NapZone MP? So for the Launchpad tokens, they're in very hot demand. So the supply and demand is just not matching. The demand far outweighs the supply. So we do give BNB holders the privilege to participate in Launchpad. And if people do not hold BNB tokens, then they don't get the chance to participate. But right now there are no 100% or there are no automatic rewards. But the project's teams, most of the project's team are generous enough that they do have airdrop activities, trading competitions going on after the Launchpad event. So I guess that's kind of for that. And they're to be honest, they're very generous to do that because most of the projects are in very hot demand. When you plan to visit the UAE, I did visit UAE like maybe last December-ish. It's a long flight, so these days I tend to stay more in Asia and Europe. Let me see. When is the BNB burn? So from BSOV. So the BNB burn was completed maybe about an hour ago. So we burned $24 million equivalent in BNB. And that burn is from the team allocation portion. And the team is also committed to burn all of the team allocations, which is 40% of the total supply, which is 80 million BNB, currently worth about $2.4 billion. The teams unanimously agreed to give that up. So so that's what's happening. I think that's all the questions I will answer now. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time. Thank you, guys.